the benefits. She's looking for benefits. That's kind of the problem. She would need them. Mm-hmm. She's 56 years old. How's David? Yeah, he's fine. He's not falling off or anything. He doesn't like it. He's a year. It's been a year since his surgery. He's not done PSA form. Does he have a wife there? Does anything pay attention to anything? Not the bitch you want, huh? No. Stark contrast.
Let the record show it's 6 o'clock. Welcome to the Planning Commission meeting. Could I have a roll call, Sarah?
Eddie Guggenheim.
Here.
Linda Barnhart.
Present?
Eric Goff.
Here.
Sakina Norton.
Present.
Tim Lewis. Daniel Gill.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum present. You have the agenda that was sent to you earlier in the week. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda? Okay,
Second.
motion by Mr. Goff, second by Mr. Gant to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the motion passed. The next item is called a sunshine law speaker. This is whenever anybody who wants to speak regarding a project that's on their mind, it's your opportunity to do so. You'll have 3 minutes per person, and I would ask that you do not duplicate the same thoughts that the person had that spoke just before you. If you're speaking about a project that's not on our agenda tonight, we'll listen to you under the sunshine law, but there will be no dialogue because this board has not seen anything other than what's on our agenda tonight. Okay? So do we have anybody that wishes to speak? Okay. Identify yourself for the record with your name and address.
My name is Kim Mattioli. I live at 639 Holden Drive in Martinsburg. That's spelled Mattioli. I'm a 20-year resident of Berkeley County. I'm the vice president of the Harlan Run Homeowners Association, and it was recently brought to our attention that an application was submitted to the Planning Commission on February 2nd for a 457-home development called Clover Hill to be built on 116 acres along Welltown School Road. In advance of the public hearing, I would like to use this opportunity to express my concerns and the concerns of others here today as to the nature and scope of this proposed development, which runs adjacent to Harlan Run, Federal Hill, and Apple Knolls Estates subdivisions. These neighborhoods are approximately 20 years old, well established, and in reviewing the County Growth Management Plan from 2016 in the section titled Rural Neighborhoods, it specifically states in part that, quote, development should be at densities consistent with the surrounding area. Placing 457 homes on 5,500 square foot lots is in no way consistent or in line with densities consistent with any of the 3 established neighborhoods that surround that land. Harlan Run has 111 homes on 3/4 to 1 acre lots. Federal Hill and Apple Knolls have similar density and lot sizes. Additionally, Welltown Road is a narrow farm road that currently provides access to only 118 homes with no safe entry onto Route 9. It cannot accommodate the influx of 1,000 new drivers a day. We have been advised through contacts from the Water District that the area does not currently have the ability to maintain adequate water for the number of residences that are proposed, nor for adequate fire flow from hydrants. The current water infrastructure cannot support a development of this size. And I share in the tremendous concerns that I'm sure you will hear about tonight about the impact 457 homes will have on the Hedgesville High School District, the Hedgesville School District. The county recently voted in favor of a $25 million bond to help the schools catch up with the massive growth that's been both a blessing and a plague to our community or our county. Adding more high-density communities like this one is not a good idea. It's like a hamster on a wheel, always running but standing still. And I feel like we have a fiscal responsibility to address this issue before further adding to the problem. By a show of hands here, how many people are here in opposition of this proposed development? And while I applaud the county for any ideas for affordable housing, for this and many other reasons, I am vehemently opposed to the use of this farmland for such a high-density development and ask that you please reject any request in the future to build high-density housing of any sort on this parcel. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else that wishes to speak?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Madam Chairman and Planning Commission members. My concern is with the
Your name?
Joseph Stropole, S-T-R-O-P-O-L-E. My concern is with the infrastructure hookups and the existing capacity, as the lady before me mentioned, but also electrical and sewage. And
Sorry, that was for her.
Sure. The
We'll start you right
sewage
now.
and other things, including the roads, and also I'm troubled by the fact that some of the car flows at maximum car capacity for this proposed development is in excess of 1,057. At a utilization rate of 60%, that would mean that somewhere around 600 cars a day would be entering and leaving that development. Also, the electrical, the average, by virtue of the statistics from the United States Energy Information Administration, the average home uses 868 kilowatt hours of electricity on a monthly basis. Go ahead and multiply that by 457, and let's see if we have the kilowatt substation capacity in that area and lines. Those are just some of my concerns, in addition to the density being way beyond. Also, in closing, I'd like to call to the Planning Commission's attention Section 9 of the Developments Authority in your own section, Article 9, Section 904, in determining specific density, the impact of proposed development on adjacent properties and other should be weighed in carefully. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Strawn. Anybody else wish to speak?
Good evening, Planning Commission members. My name is Christopher Lee, 2381 Welltown. I'm a Berkeley County resident and president of the Harlan Run Homeowners Association. Similar to the other speakers that spoke, wanted to speak about the proposed development. While I do think that growth is a critical component to any county in terms of its master plan, especially with the items that we've already talked about and stuff that you would already know with the high density proposed development coming in and the implications behind that, these are the reasons why it would be a very poor decision to build on that farmland. Within your own subdivision regulations, it states that new communities grow only with adequate highway, utility, health, educational, and recreational facilities. We talked a little bit about highway. Just a little bit more perspective. So we have Welltown Road, which is going adjacent to that farmland. It's one lane. It's a one-lane, narrow farm road. And with additional 600 cars on top of the 100-something vehicles that go there every day, it's not going to be able to support a total of over 600 to 700 drivers or cars every day, right? And Route 9 is already congested because of the growth, because of 81, and also Hedges and the growth that Hedgesville is experiencing now. So in terms of schools, for perspective as well, because of the overcrowding that the school district already has for Hedgesville, you already have people sitting on the floor in the classrooms because there's no available desks. In addition, there will be anywhere from 100 to 600 students, all in a very short time frame, in a school district that's already overcrowded. And in addition to that, there's bus transportation issues because there's already issues with buses being canceled, and this is just going to compound that problem. So Clover Hill does have a potential to be a very good community, but not in the area that's being proposed. It would be foolish for you to approve a community with 457 extra homes, with potentially 600 new cars, on a single lane farm road that's barely able to support its current drivers, and potentially anywhere between 100 to 600 new students for a school district that's already overcrowded. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak?
Good evening. Thank you for hearing our says here. Curtis Tobin, 186 Nathaniel Drive. I was raised in this community and had the good fortune of life to return to it now. I think the other members have spoken to almost every issue I considered except one. I don't want to be redundant, but it is wastewater management. There will be a significant change to the wastewater management from this sort of density. I think significant beyond any others addressed in this area. And I think for the long term, as repeating what has already been said, so I'll follow with that it just is beyond the scope that meets this community's needs.
Thank you, Mr. Tobin. Any other speakers? Okay, I will tell you, and I mentioned it before, you're speaking under the Open Governmental Proceedings, which is a sunshine law typically referred to. This body has not seen the project that you are speaking of tonight. It may have been submitted to the Planning Commission, but we have not seen it, and I don't know how much review has been done by the staff. There will be a public hearing on the project whenever it has reached that point. So you will again have an opportunity to come in and speak for that particular project. At that time, there may be more information that would be available, but it's information that we do not have, this panel does not have this evening. Okay? Thank you very much for coming. If you want to stay, you're welcome to stay. If you'd like to leave, we'll give you a few minutes to leave.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you.
Ready to make a motion to close the sunshine law? Oh, we don't have to close it. My bad.
That's okay. Okay, we will proceed with our agenda. We have approval of the meeting minutes.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Goff, second by Mr. Gant to approve the meeting minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now we do have public hearings, and the first public hearing is Patricia Spiro.
The public hearing tonight is a request for waiver. The project is Patricia Spiro, file 2301-027. The developer is Patricia Spiro, and the engineer is Keller Engineering. It's located in the Hedgesville District, tax map 28, parcel 16, and is located on Ridge Road South, approximately 1 mile south of Hedgesville Road. The developer is proposing the creation of 3 parcels to be served by public water and private septic. 2 parcels are 1.6 acres, and the third is 1.8 acres. The owner is requesting a waiver to section 305.4.1 of the Berkeley County subdivision ordinance requiring a 2-acre minimum lot size to proceed through the preliminary final process. Since the proposed lots meet the minimum lot size requirements of 40,000 square feet for single-family dwellings with public water and private septic and have obtained West Virginia Department of Highways entrance permits, engineering and planning staff recommends approval of the waiver to section 305.4.1.
Thank you. Do we have anyone to represent the project? Spiro lots. Patricia Spiro. Yes. Are you Patricia Spiro?
I'm her daughter. She's here.
Oh, okay.
But I'm taking care of all this.
Okay, what is your name?
Michelle Spiro.
Michelle Spiro, okay. We'd get this for the record, that's all.
Okay.
Okay, this is a public hearing. It is the opportunity for people in the audience who wish to speak regarding this project to come forward and make those comments known at this time.
There is no one. I move to close public.
I'll say something on behalf of them. I'm on the other side. She's on the other side of Harlan Run. She's in a protected farm community or farmland.
Okay, just state your name again for the record.
Sorry, Kim Mattioli at 639 Holden Drive.
Okay.
I just want to say that I fully support her request for a variance. I think what she's doing to keep the land in her family and be able to subdivide it for future growth for her family to expand and live on that land is definitely exactly what we want in terms of growth.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Do we have anyone that wishes to speak regarding this project other than Ms. Magny?
If there's no one else, I move to close public hearing.
Second.
Okay, let the record show that there is no more public comment. I have a motion by Mr. Goff, second by Mr. Gant, to close the public hearing for Patricia Spiro lots. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Ms. Spiro or of the staff?
Hearing no question, ma'am, make the motion, we approve the planning staff recommendation for approval of the waiver.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Gokenhour, second by Mr. Gant, to approve the waiver to allow the 3 lots to be created and through the preliminary final plat process. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Okay, that concludes our public hearings for the evening. The next item we have is preliminary plan approval for Sheets Route 45.
Yes, this is a request for preliminary plan approval. The project is Sheets Route 45. The file is 2209-264. The developer is Sheets Incorporated. The engineer is Integrity Federal Services. It's located in the Arden District, tax map 5, parcel 33. This site is located on Apple Harvest Drive, approximately 500 feet east of exit 12. The developer is proposing the redevelopment of the existing Sheets. The new development will consist of a 6,139 square foot convenience store / gas station, a drive-through, and a 1,000 square foot automated car wash to be served by public water and sewer. No waivers or exceptions have been requested. On February 3rd, 2023, County Engineer Doug Smith deemed the project compliant with the subdivision ordinance 2009. The preliminary plan meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends approval of the preliminary plan.
Do we have anyone to represent the project?
Hello, my name is Ben Svedlow, representing the applicant.
I'm sorry, your name?
Ben Svedlow.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Planning Commission members, do you have questions of the applicant's representative or of the staff?
Ben, it looks like you're gonna lose your sets, a couple different sets of pumps, is that correct?
Yeah, they're reducing the pumps.
Yeah, I see. Let's work out now.
No further questions, I'll make a motion, we accept staff recommendation and approve the preliminary plan.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Gant, second by Mr. Goff, to approve the project Sheets 45 for the new design that they've created. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is final plat determination, overlook at Riverside Apartments 2.
Yes, this is a request for final plat determination. The project is Overlook at Riverside Apartments 2. File number is 2212-364. The developer is Overlook at Riverside Apartments 2 LLC. The engineer is Frederick Seibert and Associates. It's located in the Falling Waters District, map 7, parcel 160.3. The property is located on the east side of Williamsport Pike and south of I-81. This project proposes 6 apartment buildings, 2 carriage buildings, 152 units with a dog park, pickleball courts, pavilion, and playground on 7.24 acres to be served by public water and sewer. At the September 19, 2022 Planning Commission meeting, the developer was granted a waiver to Section 801, Table 8-1A, subsection 7, multifamily dwelling apartments requiring 2.5 spaces per apartment, plus 1 parking space for each on-site employee, plus 10% additional spaces for guests. On February 9, 2023, County Engineer Doug Smith found the above-mentioned project compliant with the subdivision ordinance 2009. The final plat meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance. Therefore, staff recommends final plat determination and advertising of a public hearing for consideration of final plat approval at the March 20th, 2023 Planning Commission meeting.
Thank you. Do we have anyone to represent the project, please?
Good evening, Ed Schreiber with Frederick Seibert and Associates, representing the applicant.
Thank you, Mr. Schreiber. Any commission members? Do you have questions?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay.
What is pickleball?
A slower version of tennis.
I got
Slower, louder.
Louder.
Yeah. You could get into that, Dan. That's
I don't know. I'm not much of a tennis player. I got chicken legs.
that's similar.
It's on ESPN, so it's gotta be something.
Yeah.
I never heard of pickleball.
Really? You don't watch the news?
Quite the phrase.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's the fastest growing sport in the country.
Yeah. It's a little louder than tennis.
Each their own, I guess. If there are no further questions, I'll make a motion to accept staff recommendation. Set a public hearing for final plat approval on the March 2023 Planning Commission meeting.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Gant and second by Mr. Goff to accept staff recommendation, and that is to have a public hearing on March 20, 23 to consider the final plat approval. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Thank you. Maybe you can invite Mr. Gant out for a pickleball lesson.
That'd be scary.
Yeah.
I won't go just to watch.
That'd be scary.
I don't think it's quite as
Not as fast.
no, not as fast, and I don't think it's quite as much energy involved in it.
Court's smaller.
No. You'll have to run to catch your ball.
Need a longer arm. You don't have to run as much.
Okay. The very last thing we have on the agenda is staff council discussion action motion. Does the shining people on the front row and the second row have anything they want to add?
I don't know.
For sure.
Okay.
I move
There's
to adjourn.
Nothing else. I have a motion at 6:20 to adjourn by Mr. Goff, second by Mr. Gant. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?